You want to find that one person in the entire world that you can give it all to them.
You'll be like patience and openness, curiosity, enthusiasm for the information.
Respect the process and trust the process.
Everything you do with your body can bring you more awareness when you do it so mindfully.
How many times I've been to a class and I was like, yes, I absolutely understand why so many people like this now, because now I feel it.
Openness for the craziness. There is a philosopher that I really like that he says, embrace the crazy.
As teachers, we often feel the pressure to deliver a certain way instead of delivering with our heart, with our intuition.
Trusting the process, giving it time, patience, and openness.
If your teacher is asking you for that time, make it, because that's an experience that they think is worth you changing your plans if you're busy. Imagine if you could follow a master and learn everything from them. What are the qualities they would be looking for in their lifelong student? Well, let's find out. Hello everyone, and welcome back to ZoukNerds. In this episode, we are going a little off the tracks. Guy and I are on a quest to find our lifelong students, our pupils. But it's not going to be easy, not at all. And we want to know if there's anyone out there up for the task. So, let's go. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of ZoukNerds. My name is Alisson Sandi, and once again we have our beautiful co-host. Hello, Guy.
Hello, Alisson. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Very excited for this episode.
Oh, yes, indeed. And this is one of those episodes that we trail into the imaginary world of what if we had this? What if we could do this? What could the world be if ... And for today's topic, we're going to imagine what would be our most ideal, our perfect disciple. To explain a little bit more, imagine that you are this master of something, maybe martial arts or master of some spiritual thing, and you want to choose somebody to pass on everything that you know. But not just anybody. You want to find that one person in the entire world, in your lifetime, that one person that you feel that they have everything that it takes, that you can give it all to them, and they're going to be the right person to pass on everything that you know and even evolve from everything that they learned from you. What characteristics, what qualities, what are the things that you would be looking for in that person? So what is it for you, Guy? What would be your ideal disciple?
Man, this question comes in very good timing because I have been thinking a lot about if I were to open a course or open a class where there is not only an audition for people to join, there is also an interview. There is also like probation period, like, let's see if this works. Let's see if this relationship works. I think the main quality for me would be patience. I would love to work with someone who has patience to go through the process, I think, with me. That might be the main aspect. We are surrounded by so much anxiety that I crave patience from those who are learning. I think of someone who could spend an hour or more doing one single exercise and be completely immersed in it, completely curious about what are they finding out, and very attuned with their own sensations as they go through the exercise. So, patience for me. What about you? What will be this most important quality?
I think it's very similar to you in terms of patience. I often say this thing that I repeat to myself and I repeat to all the students. You need to respect the process. Respect the process and trust the process. So I think those are the two things that I would say. Patience, yes, but respect the process. So understand the process. See the process as the main thing, not the end goal. The end goal is something that is unknown, but being attached and being respectful of the process, and through that, trusting that if you stick to this, and if you do this, and after this, and after this, and after this, you will get to the level that you are wanting to be. You're going to get to this mastery level that you're going to be flying on top of a mountain, so to speak.
Yeah.
So trust in the process and respect in the process. Because, like I said, in the age that we are today, you want to buy a car, click. You want to buy music, click. And after you buy that music, if it takes 2 seconds to download, you want to throw your phone on the wall because, oh my God, my internet is terrible. 2 seconds because the music is not playing. Like, this is something that is really affecting all humans, to be honest. All humans. And we see that in our dance classes. We see that in everything, because how easy is it, or how lazy is it, and I'm guilty of that, to simply go to an AI assistant and ask the question and just think about nothing until the answer is there in front of you. Instead of actually critically thinking about something, researching, reading for an entire day to figure out what is the best rice to buy. What's the most nutritious grain of rice to buy? Instead of reading and learning about it, it's just so easy to just go to this AI thing, put it there, it does the research for you, and it tells you everything. That would not be a disciple for me, for example, because I am somebody who wants to take time to learn something. I don't like when people rush me. I don't like to rush people. So respect for the time, respect for the process.
Yeah. I think that might be the biggest one. The second one is the cup is not full. One thing, for example, that throws me off a little bit is when someone comes to me and says, oh, I think I understand this concept here. I know this concept here. I know how to do it. I got it. And I have seen them dancing, and I know that they didn't. Of course, there is the second part of it when I say, no, you haven't yet. There's still some stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, good. No problem. And sometimes they say that they haven't yet. And there is like this discussion, you know. And there is sometimes the justification of why they do the thing they do the way they do. Oh, I do this because of this and this other thing. Like, no, I don't want to know, you know? And that's something that I try to bring to my approach as a student as well. When a teacher tells me something, I really try to, like, okay, let's do this thing that the teacher is telling me to do. What I know previously informs everything so far. And I'll try to adopt, to incorporate what is being given to me now. And I think my ideal imaginary disciple would have this cup half full sort of approach to learning, curiosity, would ask questions to understand more what I mean, what I'm trying to convey, without justifying what they're doing the way that they are doing all the time, you know. Of course, everything is balanced. Né? You explaining why you do things the way you do as a way to explain and help the teacher give you the information in a more effective way. Super nice, super down for it.
Yes.
The issue on that part is when you justify, but then you don't do anything because that's the way, you know. So when you're set in your ways of doing something, and even though trying to apply the thing that the teacher is trying to tell, you say, no, but I do this way. It could not work. It would not work.
There's no trust in the process.
No trust in the process. You'll be like patience. And the second thing would be openness, curiosity, enthusiasm for the information.
Yeah, try to ask for more information, not ask whether the information is right or whether the information is something that you believe in yet, because you haven't tried yet, you know. Try it. Like I said in a previous episode, when I'm a student, I want to try it even if it's something that I previously believed that I don't like it or that I wouldn't do it myself. I want to try it because this time I might have a different experience, or the way that this teacher teaches it and explain it to me, it'll make sense. And then I'm going to be changed forever. How many times I've been to a class where I tried something for the 5th time or the 10th time, and because of the way that the teacher presented and explained it, in that moment I was converted. I was like, yes, I absolutely understand why so many people like this now, because now I feel it. So if I wasn't trusting the process and I was just trusting my previous judgment, I wouldn't have that experience because I was just trusting that I already know, or I justify why I don't do it. Then why am I in class? I think that's a big thing. Why are you questioning your teacher if you went to their class? And there's a big difference about asking questions because you want more information or because you want to experience it, or asking questions to test the teacher or to try and make a decision whether you're willing to try. That wouldn't be a disciple for me. A disciple is like, okay, I trust the process. Of course, we're talking about respectful things here. We're not talking about anything that crosses boundaries, okay, emotional boundaries and physical boundaries, but we're talking about dance. We're talking about learning the mastery of everything that we know in terms of dance and maybe a little bit beyond dance.
Yeah, I was thinking of someone who doesn't need to know all the time why we're doing what we're doing. Someone who is willing to break the flow of the thing we have been doing to do something else that can be completely unrelated just for the sake of it, just for doing it, just to like enjoy something different. Because what I learned over time is when it comes to movement and awareness, everything can bring you more. Everything you do with your body can bring you more awareness when you do it so mindfully, when you pay attention to certain aspects of it. So when we are doing an exercise that is a little bit more crazy, a little bit more out of the box, and you just go with it, let's go, let's enjoy this thing here. And there is in yourself this awareness that this exercise, although not exactly related to what we have been doing, can help me with what we have been doing by bringing the focus into body awareness, into proprioception, into learning more about what is it that I'm doing with my body, where are my body parts, what are they doing? So like this openness to go crazy, openness for the craziness. There is like a philosopher that I really like that he says, embrace the crazy. And that's something that I would love to have a group of people that, let's just go with it. Guys, I had an idea here. Let's stop everything and do this completely unrelated thing, and then we go back. Because I think now at this point, after teaching for some time so consistently, things are often related. People might not see exactly the connection right away when they look at it. And you might not be able to explain so clearly why and how they relate. But intuitively, it does relate in some shape or form. You just cannot voice it. It comes back to the thing of trust, trusting the process. This is here for a reason. I know. It reminds me of my time in Jaime. We did so much crazy shit. I had no idea why we were doing it. But I had this gut that was like, there's a reason. It might not be rational. And that's the thing. The rationalization, I don't even know if that's a word, but making everything so rational. And we would work a lot on this subjective realm. And I think a disciple of mine would be someone who embraces the subjective realm and go for the crazy ass stuff, really to like awaken the body, awaken the senses, perception, and then we go back to the technique, and then we do all the push and pull and this, all the stretch and contract and all the things, and enjoy again the process. In this way, we don't need to know what are the connections of all things at all times, and allow for some crazy from time to time and see the importance of it, see how that can really inform this art form that we do, which is partner dancing, in which at times we are embodying a story with someone else and we embody characters. So being able to tap into the subjective realm and going to this different kind of playfulness is so important, I think. And it's so much part of how I see partner dancing these days and how I practice partner dancing these days. It's just like opening the door for more tools to play, you know. That would be so huge for me. So, so huge. I dream of labs, you know, where we can get in a room, dim the lights, and go crazy in labs, musicality labs, contact improv labs, lift labs. You know, we don't do lifts on social dancing, but we do the labs in the lifting. Why are we going to use it for? I don't know. But then we realize, man, we need to work on our base, work on our grounding. We need to work on like impulse, momentum, so much stuff. But just I think to stimulate the mind and the body, most importantly. We would do meditations together. We would sit down quiet and just meditate for 20 minutes. What is the reason? How is that related to dance? It doesn't, I don't care, you know, something like that. So we would go through a journey that goes beyond the technique of the dance that we are learning. We'll go through a journey that encompasses everything that surrounds body, movement, mind, awareness, and seeing how that informs the dance. Because I think my journey was a lot like that. It was dance floor, dance class, and a lot of stuff outside of it. And that comes to the dance by osmosis. You know, I have this strong wish to have a group of people that we can do that in a way that I don't see being done or I don't see being possible to do unless we go through some auditions, some interview to find a group of people who are like, let's go, let's do this thing. And the vetting process would be, or the trial period would be super important because sometimes people are really excited when they start and then start dropping over time, you know? So that process would be super important to really see who wants to stay. Of course, life happens, you know, force major things are part of every contract. I'm saying more in the consistency over time, you know.
The usual thing that happens every January. I'm going to get really fit this year. Sign up for the gym. 2 weeks later, that's it, gone.
I'm going to eat my veggies. Yes, exactly. I think it would be something on that end. So the patience, the embracing the process, the openness and curiosity, and this other level of opening curiosity to tap into other things and not knowing exactly how that relates to the dancing, the reason why we got together, but embracing that it does relate directly, indirectly in some way, because it's all about people, body, movement, awareness, presence, all these things. So and if I have this, I'm happy.
And I think that's something that connects with that for me. I would like to have somebody who thinks ahead. Trust the process. Yes, you're being present, but you're already thinking about ways that you could improve your own learning, your own process. Like come to me and say, hey, I've been struggling with this in our sessions, and I think I should be doing more of this. What do you think? Instead of me being the only source of everything, like you're not going to walk unless I tell you, you're not going to move unless I tell you. No, that doesn't work for me. That's not the kind of disciple that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a person who is not thinking for themselves. I'll be wanting somebody who is actually critically thinking, asking the questions of how to improve more, making suggestions, even going like, hey, do you think that, what if I do this? And I'm like, well, I didn't think about it. I haven't tested, but let's give it a try. Yes, I think it makes total sense. I understand where you're coming from with this suggestion, and I think it makes total sense. And if it doesn't, I'm going to tell you, look, at this point, I think it's too much, or I think it's not connected to what we're doing. How about we save this for later? But I want to get back to this. So somebody who is also being part of the process. Yes, trusting the process. Yes, respecting the process, but being a part of the process. I think that's very, very important. Which leads me to the next point that I wanted to talk about. Maybe a little detour, but there's a big difference between the West and the East, right? Not of one country, but of the entire world. So when I was teaching there in North America, like you mentioned, Guy, there's a big difference now teaching here in Taiwan and Taipei.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of conversations to the West and to the East people about this. And I had to really understand and learn how to respect this. Because I understand now that the West has its benefits because of the curiosity, of the critical thinking or the judgment or the questioning in an inquisitive way. But then I also have to respect the trust and the respect that the people here in the East will give, because it cannot be abused. So there is even more responsibility because, yes, I can totally see Yugi doing a group like that right here. But then it opens the door also for somebody to do that in a way that is not respectful or in a way that is not good for those people. So I think it's a big thing to think about when we're talking about this. It's not just because we have the people that are up for anything that we should really do whatever and not respect the people, you know?
Of course. No, yeah, of course. It's more like when I say up for anything is really in terms of what we do in the process of learning. You know, what kind of exercise we do, for how long we do the exercise. And basically that's like what we do, for how long we do, and do we need to know at all times why we're doing it? And there's space for spontaneity in what we are doing, you know? So that's pretty much it.
No, I get it. I just wanted to share this with everybody because it's something that I learned when I was talking about, when I go to this place or that place, the students are just so open. They do everything. It doesn't matter what I tell them. Let's sit on the floor. Let's roll. They do it. And then people told me, yeah, listen, but you need to be careful because are you always connected to the people? Are you respecting the people? So now, ever since I've learned about this, I've learned to ask the right questions or to watch for the signs. And over the last 3 weeks here in Taipei, I have a ZoukNerds team. We've been doing these classes that we haven't done before, never done before. Since the start of the year, we've been running teams. And it was all about connection, interaction, adaptation. I have been very pleasantly surprised with every session, but I'll tell you what, I've been scared, worried, stressed before every session. I don't know. It's just like me. Before the class, I plan everything and I'm like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. And then all of this stress and fear goes like, but what if they don't like it? What if they feel like this is weird? Ooh, what if the leaders don't think this is interesting enough? Or what if the followers don't find this useful? And oh my God, and every session of being like so nervous. But then at the end, I asked them, and I asked them as a group, and then I asked them one by one, what do you think? What did you learn? And they always share with me like, wow, that was very interesting, very cool what you did today. And I'm like, really? Do you really think so? And they tell me, yes, I realized that I have this or that I don't do this and that my partners like something more like this and I thought they wanted that. And all of these discoveries that I was scared of bringing to the students or the class, because as teachers, we often feel the pressure to deliver a certain way instead of delivering with our heart, with our intuition of looking at the room and just going like, okay, everybody pause. Okay, everybody just do this. And that's what I did last class. We were doing expressions and connection and adaptability for many weeks. But at the end of last class, I just told everybody, okay, face me, face away from the mirror. So everybody was standing across the mirror, face me. Now, imagine that you're very happy. Somebody just asked you for a dance and you're super excited. I want you to do that face of like, I'm very excited. Oh my God, this person asked me to dance. I'm so looking forward to the next 10 minutes. They all did their face. And I was looking and I asked them, okay, turn around to the mirror and see the face that you did. And most of them were shocked. And I'm like, so what did your face look like? And they were like, bored, angry, like not interested. And I'm like, yeah, I saw the face before you turned around. And that's something that, like, if I didn't have the trust of that group or those students, because we've been working now for like 5-6 months together, I wouldn't have dared to do something like that, you know? And it's also one of the reasons why I love teaching private lessons. Because in private lessons, when you do them like very often with a teacher, and this may be a tip for you guys, do 10 private lessons. And I'm not trying to sell anything here, but the teacher that you're going to get around your 10th private lesson is a teacher that most people are never going to get. Most people are going to do one private lesson every, I don't know how many months, or maybe 2 private lessons and then skip to another teacher, another teacher, another teacher. I'm telling you, any teacher around the world that you trust and you think that they could be a good teacher for you, do like a ton of them, even if you have to negotiate and tell them, look, I just want 10 private lessons. I don't have the money. What's the best thing that you can do for me? Maybe I'll take some photos of you. If you're a photographer, exchange, because the depth and the magic that you're going to get, maybe even on the 5th private lesson, you're already going to start to see that magic, because the trust, the connection, the willingness that you're going to have from your teacher to actually switch things up and go like, you know what, let's just have a sit. I need to ask you a couple of questions. Boom. Something that you're not going to get in a occasional private lesson here and there. So I think that would be like the disciple process to get into what would be if you were somebody's disciple, even if you're not chosen by them, but at least you're going to get something similar.
That's true. You were mentioning that thing, and I remember several instances after several privates with a particular person or a couple. So many times I was like, oh, I never talked about this before. Oh, I never get to teach about this before. So many
All
times.
the time.
So many times.
All
And
the
then I
time.
find myself like, oh, I never needed to break this down before. Because it's just something that it happens that I do, but you truly don't get to talk about it. You truly don't. And you don't really know why. And you mentioned this aspect just now of time, trust, this relationship that develops. And also, you are able to have a more clear view, literally, in front of you, clear picture of something that you can share that you think can have an impact. But again, you never talked about this before because you never had the opportunity to. Because in my case, the classes are often limited in content and the material I need to deliver. So there is not enough space in terms of actual time. There's not enough space to develop a different flow in how you share the content, you know? And when I think about this idea of having disciples, of having this group of people with these characteristics, honestly, guys, I'll tell you one of my plans. My plan is to reach financial independency in the next 5 to 10 years. When I get to that point, I want to teach for free or almost very little. And if I get a group of people like this, I'll do it for free. I will not charge. We will just need to like find a space, because that's the other aspect that is really hard, to have a space that you can really work with it, where you can create this safe bubble for the time that we are training, you know? And this thing that you mentioned, Alisson, of you going through the training and you have a gut feeling, let's change something. Let's do something else here real quick, just so we can see what's up. So the openness to go through this process and really like embrace it, like look at me and do this face, and people go ahead and embrace this idea and do it. That's basically what I was like, for me, it translates what I was saying before. Now, if you have an idea and people go for it, they don't necessarily know right away why we are doing the faces, but because you ask them to do the faces and the trust that exists, by default, there is this idea, oh, it has something to do what we have been doing. I just cannot see exactly right now how it has, but I know in the future it will be. So the trust And then comes this exchange afterwards, the conversations, how it was for you, how it resonated with you. I find it super cool and super valuable as well. So in my mind, these are aspects of the same roots that we mentioned before: trusting the process, giving it time, patience, and openness. So these are all like the roots and the tree and the branches just coming out of this baseline of things. And the last thing is, like I said, there's not related to people necessarily, it's related to opportunity, meaning literally having a place to do that, you know, and that's beyond the people. And there's one thing too. I think that at this moment, we already have people like that. We already have people that, you know,
I agree.
are basically there already. We already have those people. We have those people in class already.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We truly have these people because there are these magical people that I see every year, every class. There they are. They're listening. They're curious. They are open. There is exchange. They're already there. It gives me goosebumps to realize that they're already there, you know? And that brings so much joy, so much joy. I just wish that we could sort of get out of the system from time to time, get in a room, and let's practice this one thing for 2 hours, you know? And it's outside of our regular schedulings, outside of the regular structure that we need to follow here. Né? The times have changed. Back in the day when I was learning in Rio, we had time. We could just spend the whole day in the dance studio doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
These times, they don't exist anymore. But I think we can bring some aspects of it. And we already have the people. We truly already have the people. I think now we just need to create a format. You kind of did already there now with the ZoukNerds team. I know some of the people who are in your team, and I know they are disciples that we, you know, oh my God, I love you so much because they're already there. I have here as well at District Zouk, these people who are, man, they are in. So for those who are listening, these things that we are talking about, they are not magical or mythical. They truly are here already.
Yes.
It might just be the case that we haven't yet been able to create the ideal format to train in the way that our dreams allow. That's just that. It's the only reason why. Because the people are already here. And we know their names, their faces, who they are.
I'm sure that right now there are many people listening who would love to be Guy's disciple. What would that person need to do to be accepted in the Guy's Mastery Temple?
Yeah, everything we said already. But I think, honestly, I would have a trial of resistance or like a survivor kind of thing where we would, for like an hour, just walk very slowly. I think that would be my ultimate test. For 1 hour, you just walk very slowly, alone first for the first 30 minutes, and then to another 30 minutes with someone else in front of you. And what I imagine is having a room that we could do stuff on weekends. That's why of the financial independency thing, because important part of our income comes in the weekends. Is when we do most of like the beefy part of the income. Many times is the weekend work. So having the weekend as this day in which we could go and spend like 4 or 5 hours together, you know, I think that's the thing that I wish, you know. So for my future, that's what I plan to create, an environment like that where during the weekends we can get together with this group of people. They have these characteristics and we can stay, and our sessions are not 1 hour and a half. Our sessions are not 2 hours. Our sessions are at least 4 hours. So we can really, really, really go for it and do labs, lots of labs. I would bring people of other art forms to do like little things. I'll bring the hip hop person. I'll bring the contact improv person. I'll bring the Thai massage teacher. I'll bring very different things and then start creating this multidisciplinary, multicultural, dynamic form of learning, because I think it's not only for the dance that we do, Brazilian Zouk, but it informs everything else. That's the dream.
I think for me, it would be somebody who can prioritize and have discipline. For example, we have our sessions. Yes, we have our sessions. Cool. Your sessions, you show up, you have your discipline, you make sure that you're there before, you're not coming late and making excuses and all of the things, but also the flexibility to understand that sometimes your teacher, your master, your mentor is going to say, hey, there's something going on this Sunday, 3 to 5. Can you make it? Oh, sorry, I'm busy. I'm going to ask you again. This Sunday, 3 to 5, there's something very important. Can you make it? And then the person will actually think, okay, this must be very important. I'm going to change my plans because you trust the process. If your teacher is asking you for that time, make it, because that's an experience that they think it's worth you changing your plans if you're busy. That type of discipline, prioritization, and understanding, I think that would be max, because that's kind of like how I learn. If I'm learning from somebody and they ask me, hey, can I call you now? Or can you call me in 2 hours? Or can you come here at this time or that time? Oh yeah, absolutely. Like how many times Guy and I were working together in DC, we're discussing something and we're like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? Oh, I'm free at this time. Oh yeah, okay, I'll move things around. Yeah, boom, boom, done. We just make it work, make it happen. It's not like, well, Sunday I have this and don't give me that. When I ask you about a time, think, is there anything that I couldn't change or cancel or postpone at all? If there is nothing like that, then you can make it. I don't know if I said it right, but basically think like anything that I already have on Sunday, is any of that something that I cannot change? If all of those things, they are possibly something that you can change, then change and trust the process. And I'm talking serious now. I'm talking about like surgery, okay? A doctor appointment, you can change. Lunch with your family, you can change. A date with your partner, you can change. Those things you can change, because if you want to be at that level of commitment and respect and trust in the process, I can officially 1,000,000% say I would change. I would absolutely change, whatever it takes. Like, guys, in what, 2 weeks? So 2 weeks from now, as of the time of this recording, which is not when it was released, Guy is about to have a weekender in DC.
Yes.
And I told Guy, what is the time? I looked at the schedule and I'm like, okay, I'm going to die, but I'm going to attend. I don't know. I'm just going to be a fly on the wall. I'm going to make a call and just be on the phone in the corner, but I'm going to be there all night, all day. And there's a weekender here in Taipei at the same weekend. So I'm going to be taking classes all night, maybe sleep for an hour, take classes all day, and then take classes all night, take classes all day. And then on Monday, I'm going to be nothing left of me, but I'm going to be like fuller 10 times, because I'm going to be like so happy, so excited, so inspired, so fulfilled with all of this energy that comes from learning. At least, I don't know if you can hear from my voice or see from the video. For me, it's exciting. I'm not going to have a life. I'm going to feel dead, but I'm going to feel the happiest than if I slept for 3 days. I don't know. For me, I have this weird obsession with things that I can really just not sleep for many days, because those things feed me.
Yes. And we know things are not forever, and things are always changing. And it's important for us, I think, that while it's there, it is there. While there is presence, the presence is there. In the famous Portuguese poet's words, like, it may be infinite while it lasts. So for the duration of that relationship, it is present, it is there, it is consistent. And when life changes, and we understand. I think in the end, we are really, really admirers of consistency, of continuation, of dedication in that way.
Yeah.
And when I think of a group of disciples, yes, I agree 100% with you, Alisson. Like putting that in the mix as well would be something really, really important. But if I need to boil down to like a couple of elements as we get to the end of the episode, I would say the patience, the trust, and everything else comes around. from these things. And like proven patience, because a lot of people say they have patience. A lot of people say they have patience. Everybody says they have patience. No, not everybody, but a lot of people say, no, I have patience. Put them to walk for an hour. Test, see if the patience will resist. So I would do an extreme patience test just to see if the person is really as patient as they say they are.
Maybe that aspect type of exercise should be part of the next team auditions.
Yes.
I have some ideas.
Nice.
Okay, guys, I just want you to do this for the next 10 minutes. I'll be watching. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I'm just going to be here watching, but you have, like in the Tango people used to do, you have 15 minutes to cross from their wall to their wall, but you have to take the whole 15 minutes to get there.
I'm sure that I'm going to learn a lot more from the students and from who I want in my team from those 10 minutes of just walking, more than another 2 hours of a full dance class.
1000%, I think so, yes. We need to test that the next audition.
Yes. You do that in DC, I'll do that here in Taipei, and we'll share the results in a future episode.
Yes, it will be so funny because we will announce the auditions, and like normally we say from 7 to 8:30 or stuff like that. Then we say auditions from 7 to 7:15. That's all,
No, actually, I was thinking more the opposite. Doing like a 3-4 hours.
Long ass one.
Look, if you can do an audition for 4 hours, you can be in my team for 4 months.
Yes.
It's just fair. If you cannot prioritize, oh, sorry, I can't make it. Well, then sorry, you can't be in the team because you cannot prioritize. Unless you have a very, 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 very strong excuse. Very strong excuse. And I think that this is already maybe an advance warning for the students from our classes who listen to this podcast. So please make sure that whenever we tell you that the audition is on, just clear the schedule, please. If you want to make it. If you want to make it to the team, clear the schedule. Just do it. Don't question it.
Yeah.
But like I said before, it's not the right time for everybody. And I do appreciate when people come to me, for example, and say, hey, I would love to be part of your team. Can't do it this season, but I'm going to plan ahead. And in the next 24 months, I'm going to be part of it. So count on me. And I'm like, sure, I'll see you then. But keep working. Keep working. I know you can make it now, but keep working. But yeah, you can also plan, for those of you who are thinking about doing something, you can plan. You can get to somebody that you want to really learn from and tell them, hey, this year I can't do it. I'm all booked out. I'm going to be traveling. But from next year, the next 12 months, I want to spend all of the time that I have taking classes from you, learning from you, and doing this. And I would love to draw a plan. Have some clear goals and align them and make sure that your teacher is going to be there for as long as you think. Because sometimes when we're about to leave, people are like, but I was going to take your next 6 months of classes. And I'm like, I wasn't going to be here. Did you ever think to ask me if I was going to be here the next 6 months? So please communicate with your teachers if you have those goals, because we feel very sad when those things happen, because we're like, come on, I was here for the last 6 months. Why? Yeah. So communicate with your teachers so both of us can maybe coordinate and make something happen.
Yes, guys, we never know when time's up.
Exactly. And with that, our time is up for today. So thank you so much for being here once again. Please remember to support us and help us continue this project with ZoukNerds podcasts. Come to our ZoukNerds Q&A lives. Check our link in bio on Instagram, on YouTube, on all of the platforms. Please follow us, subscribe, so we can continue doing this for you. Thank you. Beijos, abraços, and ciao.